So now we've got a word problem. The way I usually look at these is to just kind of skim over the problem first, see what it is we're dealing with. So we're just dealing with numbers here, right? We don't have any triangles or people walking or anything. It's just numbers. And then I go to the last sentence, or typically the last sentence. In this case, what is the number? So we're looking for a number here. So I'm going to introduce a variable, and what I could do is let x or n or some other letter be the number, but let's start here. Why don't we let x equal the number? All right, now we're going to try to get an equation, a relationship between the number and the constants. So look at what we have. It says the product. Now right away when I see product, I'm thinking multiplication. So the product of 4, okay, so 4 is going to be one of those numbers. And what's the other one? A number increased by 6. A number that is increased by 6. Well, here's the number. Now what we want to do is have it increased by 6. So if x is the number, you increase it by 6, it's going to look like this. I'm going to write it in parentheses because I want 4 times all of it. I don't just want this. I don't want 4x plus 6 because that says 4 times a number increased by 6. This says the product of, right, the product of 4 and a number increased by 6 is negative 24. And there's our equation. So let's go ahead and solve this. No, this is not what we want here. In fact, I've got this fancy eraser. I'll just get rid of it. So let's multiply through by 4. We'll get 4x plus 24 equals negative 24. Let's subtract that 24. So we'll get 4x equals, now, negative 24 minus 24, negative 48. And now we'll undo this multiplication. Where I got a multiplication here, we'll undo that multiplication with a division. We'll divide by 4. We'll get x equals negative 48 over 4. How about x equals negative 4 into 4 is once, 4 into 8 is twice. So we got x equals 12, but now let's be careful. This is not our answer. The question is, what is the number? The number is not x equals 12. The number is negative 12. Not x equals 12, just negative 12. In number 2, let's just get an idea of what's happening. Skim over it and see what kind of problem it is. If 5 is added to 8 times a number, the result is, okay, blah, blah, blah. This is just a number problem. I don't think we have to make any drawings or people aren't walking or anything. It's just a number problem. The last sentence says, find the number. So let's start here. Why don't we let x equal the number? And now let's go back into the problem and try to find a relationship so we can write an equation. Now often, if you just write what you read, we come up with the equation. So here's what this says. If 5 is added, okay, so I'm going to add 5 to something. If 5 is added to 8 times the number, okay, 8 times the number. Now the number is x. So 8 times the number we can write as 8x. And then we're going to add 5 to that, right? Then it says that is equal to, so let's write an equal sign, 9 more than 7 times the number. Now here's that more than. We talked about this in the last section. 9 more than. And you remember, when you see this phrase more than, less than, or from, whatever follows those words, that's where you start. Let's just take a second and note this. So down here, I'll do this. When you see these phrases, more than something, less than something, from something, this is where you start. So let's make that clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. So when I see this phrase or this word, more than something, start here. Less than something, start here. From something, start here. So now when I read this, it says 9 more than, okay, 9 more than 7 times the number. That's where I start. Here's the more than. What follows it is 7 times the number. Now the number is x. So 7 times the number is, so here's our equation. Now we can solve this right? We look at what we've got. We've got x's on the left side, on the right side. I've got more on the left than I do on the right. So my plan here is that I will subtract that 7x. Let's just do it here. So we'll get 8x's minus 7x's. That's just an x plus 5 equals, and then on the right side, 7x minus 7x. No more x's. We're just left with 9. Now we have an addition of 5. Let's undo the addition with a subtraction. So subtract 5 from both sides. So we'll get x equals 9 minus 5 is 4. We're almost there. Question says to find the number. We're close. The number is not x equals 4, but the number is just 4.